We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me.
Why hasn't anybody put you in your place?
What is up, Space Pirates? This is your Admiral, the decidedly debonair Dr. Disaster, and in a series of moves that gaming historians will puzzle over for a long time, developers and game journalists have ruthlessly and ceaselessly mocked gamers. You know, the people that pay their salaries and prop up the industry.
That was not smart. That was not smart.
Ever since the first Gamergate, the relationship between those of us playing games and the people who made games and had access to the insiders in the gaming industry, that relationship has been hostile at best, culminating in the past year or so, where games have begun to outright fail. Dragon Age the Veilguard is one such game. It pushed weird, progressive BS, and gamers rejected the hell out of it. As a result, EA eliminated a lot of jobs at BioWare, the company that made the game.
Now you know who you're fighting.
It looks like EA learned at least a bit of a lesson, though, that games like Dragon Age, where they purposely engage in culture war shit and try intentionally to give gamers what they don't want, they must now realize, EA must realize that those games are going to fail, because they haven't stopped with BioWare in what can only be seen as a preemptive move, preventing further embarrassment and loss of money. EA has canceled the upcoming Black Panther video game and eliminated Cliffhanger Studios, which was making it.
Let's just take the L and move on.
Alright, me hearties, make sure that you hit the like button on this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and also, don't forget to follow me over on X, where I keep a list of games lousy with wokeness pinned to the account at all times for your reference. My handle over there is Dr. Disaster 1. Also, I have started uploading some content onto Rumble as well, so make sure that you follow Dr. Disaster on that platform too. Anyhow, let's take a look at EA, who decided to cancel the Black Panther game that they've been developing for several years at this point. I think a lot of what we're seeing right now, not just with EA, mind you, but this is especially relevant for them because it was their game which flopped, but a lot of the decision making that we're seeing right now in the industry is due in no small part to the way that Dragon Age the Veilguard flopped so spectacularly. There was no battle more vicious and passionately fought over in gaming last year than the battle over Dragon Age, and the victory for those of us who were against that turd was so decisive that the people making decisions in these big game companies are forced to factor in what happened to Dragon Age. The CEO of EA tried to blame the failure of the FAILguard on a lack of live service, as you might remember, but I see this as performative. He doesn't want to admit publicly that the culture war ruined them when it came to that game. They're just going to quietly move away from that sort of mentality. But EA isn't the only one to be making such decisions. As an example, we see all kinds of studios bristle at being called woke. The upcoming Witcher 4 game, we talked about that the other day. The voice actor for Geralt came out and said that anyone who thinks the game that Witcher 4 is woke, anyone who thinks that is stupid. Now, the dude is still attacking gamers as if this is 2019 and that's still an acceptable strategy, which is foolish, but lost in that headline was the fact that he is tacitly admitting that being woke is undesirable. being branded that is a death sentence, essentially. Anyhow, I see Dragon Age as one of the major inflection points which caused this to be the case, and now the parent company of BioWare just closed down the Black Panther game. Now, let me show you a clip of Danny Lalonde, one of the developers of Black Panther, which shows precisely why EA is moving on from this turd. This is from a few years ago when Danny worked at a different company, but it surfaced last year during the Sweet Baby controversy, and you'd better believe that if Black Panther had actually come to fruition, that people would have been sharing this clip left and right and making it clear that this is somebody who hates a massive chunk of gamers.
I have a team of 21 right now for Validate. It's a pretty big team. It's a crazy big team for indie games. But who is your team? Validate has a team of mostly all people of color. We have no white people on our team. I did that because I wanted to create a safe environment. And I know the best way for an environment to be safe is to be around people who are just like me. And I'm not saying that white people in the industry are creating unsafe environments. I'm not saying that. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying that sometimes it is hard to work with white people because they think that something may be okay, but it was really a microaggression. And no one wants to deal with that while they're trying to make a game that they love.
I shouldn't have said that. I should not have said that.
Or, here's a tweet from one of the senior writers of the Black Panther game. As you can see at the top, Alyssa Mercanti wrote, "I don't support all gamers. Most of you are bigots." And this writer, Alexa Ray Correa, replied, "Need this on a shirt." Now, when you add all of this together, along with the fact that this Danny Lalonde person is a former Sweet Baby contributor, meaning that there's a much stronger chance that gamers would be willing to rally against this game, well, it's no wonder why EA chose to make this move, why they chose to get rid of Cliffhanger Studios and eliminate Black Panther. Now, to be clear, Black Panther is not my favorite comic book character, but he's okay. I wouldn't have minded seeing him get a game as long as it was good, but it's hard to imagine that the people who were in charge of this thing would have done a good job. EA got the memo, which is a massive win for gamers, and hopefully this is a sign that more developers will come to their senses in the future and decide to get away from this sort of video game. But I'm gonna leave it there. Drop your mockery of the Black Panther team and the ridiculous things that they've said into the comment section below, and we will talk there. Thanks for watching, me hearties. If you haven't already, your Admiral is inviting you to subscribe to the channel and become a part of the crew. Life as a space pirate may not be glamorous, but there's always plenty of booty.